Hi everyone. So today I will be telling you about my journey and why I started being a runner, how I started, training for marathons, why I ran track in college, why I ran track starting in high school, okay? So first of all, it started when I was playing basketball in middle school, okay? Middle school, I was, very active in basketball, and I was, an amazing basketball player in middle school, right? So with that said, I'm just gonna give you a little scoop. This is not a very specific, detailed message about myself. I'm not gonna go thoroughly into it today, but I'm gonna let you know a little bit, okay? So anyway, basketball was number one in my life, right? While being in middle school. 7th, 8th, 9th grade, and so on. There was times where I was growing and developing in basketball to become a great asset to a team, to take it to the next level and have potential for college and everything. But with that said, this is a message for somebody that needs to hear this, that is a younger athlete, whether it be younger or older athlete or whatever. This could be for anybody. God puts messages inside of us to share with others, to make sure that everything flows right and we can learn from each other, and I hope somebody can get something from this. So anyway, with that said, just knowing that I was a great basketball player, I think it was like 10th or 11th grade or so, something like that, right? I had a standout game. I had a triple double. And if you don't know what a triple double is, it's like when you score double points, double digit points, double digit assists, double digit rebounds, or whatnot, right? The list goes on. Anyway, I'm not gonna get into all that. So I scored a triple double one game, and I think this was junior varsity and not varsity, right? So I noticed that there was a lot of my teammates, after I scored the triple double, had an amazing game, a standout game. Everybody started talking about it, right? They were like, wow, did you see the amazing performance last night? And and see, that's the thing, when people hype you up and they talk about your performance, whether it be a game or whatever, right? You start to feel this confidence, right? But you gotta not mistake that confidence for ego, because in a sense, I really think that God opened my eyes to see when I was younger. I literally, that confidence turned into a little ego, to where I literally had a little bit of pride in myself, where, I started having, ego towards my teammates, right? And not really, wanting to pass the ball to them at times. But I had noticed before, not wanting to pass the ball to them, that they didn't really want to pass the ball to me until they seen how valuable I was and was scoring triple doubles, right? So with that said, it started to be a backward motion, where it brought the team down, the value of the team down, because for one, I was the one trying to score points and they knew I could score. But then again, with egos of other teammates or with me and saying, oh, I need the ball, pass me the ball, they wanted to score too. So there's nothing wrong with that, right? So anyway, it was a learning lesson in my life. So with that said, that's why I found another sport, which was running. It was track and field, right? So with track and field, I literally started running the 400 meter, the 800 meter, and really found out that I was great in the 400 meter, but the 800 meter, for some reason, it's a tougher race, but I ended up being really good at that. So I picked that I wanted to focus at the 800 meter, and that would be my event, right? So after I found out that I, really want to focus and buckle down and just really train for the 800 meter, that 800 meter was everything that I needed to build a name for myself, to come in first place every single track meet or whatever, right? And that was just God just showing me that, hey, Lamar, the whole time you were trying to put all of your your effort into basketball, when track and field is really your sport, right? So I found out by, what was it? I think it was probably sophomore or junior year of high school, right? So after that, that's when everything started to fall into place, where I started to go to regionals for track and field, right? But see, the dilemma that I didn't like in high school, which I was thankful for though, one of my coaches, the track and field coach, wanted me to run cross country, right? So that's longer distance. He was like, if you run cross country, it will make you faster and build you up. Well, not faster, but it will give you more endurance for the 800. So that way you have more of your lungs, your wind won't blow out so easy, right? So you can breathe better. You'll have better breathing. You'll be able to just have endurance, while running 2 laps around the track, and it will be nothing, because if you're running a 5K or 8K, whatever cross country was, and that really set me up for, getting really close. Look, I got really close to breaking the 800 meter record at my high school, right? I was very close. That was one of the things. I went to state, I went to regionals and state, and I had great performances, but I came up a little bit short on breaking the record, right? So I was number 2 on the list. And that was a devastating moment in my track and field career, right? But the good thing about this story is, it's amazing, man, how God works. I'm just thinking about it. I'm sorry. It's like while going to regionals or state, there was, college coaches there, right? They were scouting, trying to see who had talent, who was, amazing, right? In their events, right? So I literally lucked up. I won't say lucked up. It was just God, right? God looked out for me, because there was a coach from the University of North Carolina, Greensboro, that looked at me, and he was really interested, and he really liked how I ran the 800 meter. And he said he could work with me and he could make me great, whatever, right? I literally got the offer to walk on the team for the first year, right? At first. And he's seen what I was about. He's seen that I had a great performance in my event, right? And that I was a hard worker, because I ran cross country too in college. So after he seen my ability, that gave me the position, the offer of having, a scholarship offered to me, right? So that helped me out with my education. That is literally nothing but God. That was nothing but God working for me. And that's why I say, okay, not even with the marathons or anything, this is why I started running marathons, right? Is because I seen the potential I had in running. College was amazing. It turned out great for me that I broke. Look, this is the main thing. I broke that high school record time in college. Yes, I wasn't in college still, but I was I wasn't in high school still, but I was in college when I broke the high school record. So I was like, wow, I get in college and I'm breaking that record that I wanted to break, right? So that was very amazing confidence that I had in myself after seeing that I was able to overcome and break that record, when I was wanting to break that record when I was in high school, right? And it just let me know that, wow, God showed up and he really showed out, and that was a moment that I will forever be grateful for, that God showed me my ability, my skills, my talent, and I was able to offer myself to, gain a scholarship for my education, and it was an amazing moment in my life. Anyway, so after college, I planned on going. I took a year off of, I was doing things like modeling, working for Abercrombie and Fitch or whatever, retail, whatever. And then I found out I wanted to, go model and do some things like that, right? I was trying to find out what I wanted to do after college, because my degree was in sociology with the concentration in criminology, right? So I was like, okay, you know what? I actually want to have a government job, which is, FBI, CIA, something like that, whatever, right? At the time, I was wanting to do that, right? So with my degree, that was amazing doors for me to be open and led to go in that position. But the only thing was I needed work experience, real work experience. They wanted to see that I would work 3 or 4 years of a real tough job or role, which I thought about it and I was like, at the time I was going through a lot of things, with my, so-called parent, let's just say that, at the time when, it led me to want to go to the military because there were certain things in my life that were going on, and it led me to be like, you know what, the best move for me is to go into the military. I wanted to go Air Force at first, but I found out for basic training, they would not ship me out into a whole year. The year, it would be a year wait, right? So when I found out it'd be a year wait, I was like, you know what? Let me check with the Army. And I checked with the Army and I was able to leave pretty soon, right? So that made me very confident in, really feeling like I'm ready. I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to sign papers. I'm ready to sign a contract. I'm ready to get started. I'm ready to work a, big boy job, right? And that's what it was. So while being in the military, I had moments where I had, people in my battalion, my brigade that knew me because of, we would go run 1 mile, 2 miles, whatever, for PT, physical training, right? And these guys were like, why are you running so fast? Like, it's not that serious, right? I was like, I just love running, and I was always first. I was first in basic training in every run. I was first in AIT, which is Advanced Individual Training. I was first at my duty station in every race. I mean, you name it. I had great respect from the soldiers and from the NCOs, from the officers, everybody, But with that said, I do want to say everybody's experience in the military will not be the same. My experience was, amazing at first. There was some things that happened in the military personally that led me to not do the 20 years that I thought I was going to do in the military. And it led me to, just want to, get a honorable discharge, get on out, and do something else with my life, right? With all that said, we're not going to get into specifics of that because this is more so a positive message on letting you know how God can really show up and show out for you. I know I'm not saying this the most perfect way, but I want to get this out to somebody so that they know someone out there has been through obstacles. You can overcome. You can be what you want to be. You can do things that people think you can't do. And with that said, I didn't get to the point where I started running after I got out of the military. While I was in the military, at Advanced Individual Training, AIT, I had ran my first half marathon and didn't even train for it. I didn't even train for it. Yes, I was doing just physical training for Advanced Individual Training, which is just little small things, right? Push-ups, sit-ups, short mileage, which wasn't training for, a half marathon or anything. So I literally just went out there on a whim, just went out there on confidence and just saying, you know what, I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to run a half marathon. And I did it. And I placed really good to not even train for it. I'll go into more detail about that in another video. But after the first run, the first race, which was the half marathon, I ran my full marathon after I got on out of the military, right? Because I took some time off because there was a lot going on in the military, some stressful things. I couldn't focus and do what I wanted to do as far as marathons at that time. Work got in the way and a lot of stuff. The list goes on. So with that said, I finally, when I ran my full marathon, I only trained for, I believe it was only 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks or something like that I've trained for the full marathon. And I told myself I would just go out there and just give it my all, give it my best, and see what I can do. And, you know, I did pretty good. I was, you know, on track, on time for Boston Marathon qualifying time throughout the race up to a certain mileage. I'm not sure the exact mile that I started to bunk. I started to bunk at a certain mile, and when that happened, I was off the time for Boston qualifying time, right? I was way off. Then I was like, you know what? I'm not worried about that now. I'm not worried about the Boston qualifying time. Now that, you know, I'm just focused. It's just me wanting to finish my full marathon, and I did it. I finished, and I finished under 4 hours because I got bad cramps, and, you know, I finished in like 3 hours and 59 minutes, which is not a great time. It would have been better. I didn't train that long. Like I said, I mentioned I only trained for 3 weeks. And just knowing that I did it and I was on track for Boston qualifying time throughout the race, and then, you know, I bunked at a certain mileage, that really, you know, it can make you mad. It can make you mad at yourself, but, you know, I knew what I was getting into. I knew what I was getting myself into at that time. And when I did it, I finished and I was happy. So that was what that was all about. You know, accomplishing, you know, pushing myself, challenging myself like I've never done before, right? And after I did that one, the full marathon, I took some time off again because life got in the way. And then, you know, me being a certified personal trainer, I was always, you know, trying to train people and working another job on top of being a certified personal trainer at the time, working for, you know, great companies, whether it be Apple, Google, whatever. I literally work hard. I've always been a hard worker. And yeah, after that, you know, I had just ran a 50K for my first time. And I really did this race right here I really trained for this one, right? So I did a great job. I came in second place. I could have came in first, but, you know, yeah, this is my first race. And, you know, I really, you know, the elevation was really surprising and really tough. And I'm just thankful that I came in second. I came in top place. And we're going to keep on continuing to keep on racing and pushing ourselves. I think the next thing on the list is a 50 miler. And then after that, 100 miler. We just going to keep on rolling and see what happens. And this message, this whole video is just, you know, for people to just really gain something from it, to know like my story in a sense on what I've been through with running, my running experience, and my life. But hopefully you can gain something from this. You can learn something from this. I can, you know, if you guys want to comment, ask me some questions, you can do that. And like I said, I know this is not the most perfect video, but I just want to get this out, and I wanted to let you guys know about me and about why, you know, I run marathons and my running history. And I will go in more in depth in the next video. Until then, you guys stay blessed. God bless you and be good. Later. Bye-bye.